Good morning. The title today is 2012. What time is it anyway? And a little blurb I wrote more than an hour ago. It started for me when I forgot that daylight savings time began yesterday. There were several comments about that following the video, including one that went into some detail as to the conspiracy of daylight savings time. So, I ponder the question, what time is it anyway? Boy, I got an itchy nose all of a sudden. Anyway, time has been really screwed up for me lately. My sleeping pattern is anything but what it used to be. If there was ever a normal one, it's not normal anymore. And really hasn't been for the whole time that I've been doing these videos, and even longer than that. Last night, for example, I laid down. It was near between 7:45 and 8 o'clock. And I thought, I'm just going to lay down for a little while. I fell asleep, and I didn't wake up till a little past midnight. And I thought, well, the lights were still on, but I thought, I'm just going to let myself fall back to sleep. I didn't even try to get up and turn the lights out or anything. But after laying there for about 45 minutes, yeah, you got it, I'm up out of bed and starting my day. A little after midnight. And I got a lot accomplished, including meditation in both the meditation room and the atrium this morning. It's been a while since I've done both of them, but today was one of those days. Caught up on my emails. Did a lot of things. Now, so far I haven't really gotten into anything, have I? Just telling you about my day. But my day and my nights lately seem to be really screwed up. This isn't the first time that I've laid down in the evening for just a short, what I thought was going to be just a short one of my little power naps, and ended up being 3 or 4 hours. I suspect, and I've heard from some people, that other people are going through this, and some call this one of the symptoms of ascension, because the energies on the earth are shifting. And when we start talking about time, time is a construct that allows us to have sequential experience rather than having it all happen at once. You know, we hear all the spiritual gurus talk about being here now and being in the present moment. And this is all well and good. But even being aware that there's such a thing as the present moment indicates that we are also aware of a past moment and a potential future moment. And they're all in the present moment. And when we get to the idea of conspiracy, nothing is the way it seems to be in our world. I'm absolutely, positively convinced of that. Everything has been a deception. Everything has been a corrupt lie. And who are the conspirators? Well, it's a consensus reality, so that makes it a conspiracy of all of us upon ourselves. We have all conspired with this thing called life to bring us to this time called 2012, when there are certain planetary alignments and galactic alignments and probably cosmic alignments that we haven't even figured out yet, that accelerate the evolutionary time that we're in, when everything all of a sudden that's been hidden is coming into conscious awareness. We're becoming cognizant of the fact, number one, that life appears to be a conspiracy. And it is. And we've thought it was a conspiracy against us. And that's been a perception of ours. It's been my perception. When I look at the governments and I look at the financial structure and I look at the courts and I look at all of these things, and spiritual people get mad at me when I talk about those things. And then people that are into the conspiracies get mad at me when I'm talking about spiritual things. And you can't please everybody. I mean, forget it. But I look at all these things that are happening, and when I'm standing in the place of the victim mentality, oh my God, they're conspiring against me. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I mean, they're so powerful. And somebody wrote this to me yesterday. They've got all the guns and all the weapons and everything is on their side. Speaking of the elite establishment. They've got all the power. We can't stop them. They make all these plans and there's nothing we can do about it. I come back to the question, what time is it anyway? It's time to wake up. That's the conclusion that I come to as I meditate on this, as I pray about it. I come to the conclusion that it's time for a sleeping humanity to awaken from its slumber and from its lethargy and from its nightmare. It's time to wake up and take responsibility. The power does not dwell in the elite or the ego that the elite represent to us as a collective. That's not where the power lies. The power lies in our awareness that we are eternal beings beyond time and beyond space and beyond all illusions or temporary manifestations, as I think is a better way of looking at them. These are temporary manifestations to teach us something about ourselves. What is it that we're supposed to learn? We're supposed to learn that we are powerful beyond measure, so that we could create an illusion so powerful, a lie so powerful, that we could become convinced of the truth of our own lie to ourselves. We succeeded. We did a damn good job of creating that alternative reality, that temporal reality in time and in space, so that we could forget who we were, that we were infinite and eternal beings from the very beginning. Before Abraham was, we all were, not just Jesus. All of us were before Abraham was. Before any history was ever written down, or even before there was any prehistory, we all existed as a part of God, as a dream in the infinite creator mind that manifests and bursts forth on this cosmic plane called life, this interconnected web where things seem chaotic, and yet out of the chaos comes beauty and meaning and symmetry. Synchronicities blossom. Coincidences happen. But are they really coincidences? Are they really synchronicities? Or is this just the unfolding of time into the awareness of eternity? I remember once writing a poem, "Time is the enemy of my soul. It's the one thing I cannot control." What time is it anyway? It's time to bring back our riches, the riches of the gifts that we forgot were there. They were presents to us. And because we did not live in the present moment, we didn't unwrap the presents. But the presents are now present with us. Don't you just love the English language? And the past and the future converge, so that our ET brothers and sisters, and some people get mad when I bring up ETs because they think that's nonsense, our ET brothers and sisters come to us from our future to remind us who we are and to help us create the future. And we look back and we call forth our ancestors from our past, our ancestors that had wisdom that we have forgotten about, wisdom that allowed them to connect with all nature, just like our future selves. So our past selves and our future selves converge in this present moment, in this present time called 2012, when everything comes to fruition, when all of the hidden secrets become manifest, one after another, sequentially, in time, in this artificial construct, because 2011 was the year when time came to an end. It ended on October 28th, last year. It ended. Then we went into that 10th wave, 11th wave, 12th wave, and 13th wave up to 11/11, 11/11/11. And now we entered into no time. This is the time between times. From now till the end of this year is the time between times when everything unfolds and manifests and comes into our awareness like it never has before. Where we awaken from the dream, when we get to change the nightmare. We get to go back and reprogram our minds and our very perceptions, seeing things from this angle and that, and yet another angle. And we recognize that it's all been mirrors. Mirrors, 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 more mirrors. Everybody is a mirror of everybody else. So that when I look at the victim, I see myself. When I look at the victimizer, I see myself. When I look at things that I don't like, I see myself and I take responsibility and say, I helped create that. I helped create that. What time is it anyway? It's time to remember that we are infinite, that we are eternal. It's time to remember that we are connected each to the other, and that all of us have been playing these crazy roles. Whichever the role is, it doesn't matter. We've been playing these crazy roles to bring us to this point where we say, wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's all been part of a giant conspiracy on my behalf, not against me, but to promote me and to bring me out of the darkness into the light, to awaken me from my sleep. It's all been designed to empower me, to enrich me, to make me the person I've always been, yet forgot I was. And now I can be the gifted one, the enlightened one. I can be the master. I can be what Jesus and the Buddha taught about. I can be a real Christian or a real Buddhist or a real Muslim or a real Jew or a real Taoist or a real pick your religion, it doesn't matter, or a real atheist. They're only words. They're only temporary perceptions trapped in time, but we're untrapping them so that we can liberate ourselves. What time is it anyway? It's time for the human race to grow up and become a galactic citizen, a citizen of a bigger world than just Earth, connected to a cosmos that for most of us is unfathomable. That's what time it is. It's time in 2012 to put away all of the petty divisions, all of the polarizations, and the insane wars within ourselves and outside of ourselves, because there's nothing really outside of ourselves. It's always taken place within each of us. The battle, the conflict, the constant polarizations of opposites. That's all coming to an end. Not duality ending, but the war of dualism ending, where the dark and the light are at war. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's a giant conspiracy to awaken a sleeping humanity. And the whole cosmos watches us as we sit in this ringside seat not only watching, but participating in the event of all events, the awakening from sleep. The alarm has been sounding, and we push snooze, 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 and the universe keeps saying, no, it's time to wake up. It's time to get up. Yes, it's all been a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy in favor of, not against life. I know what it seems like. I've seen those perceptions myself. I've seen those temporary realities myself. But I want to encourage you to see what Spirit is trying to get me to see. And Spirit sometimes has a hard time getting me to see it because I get so caught up and the problem seems so huge and so big and I seem so small. And yet Spirit is saying, but you're not. You're absolutely not small. You're absolutely not pitiful and weak. You're absolutely amazingly strong. Realize that, will you please? That's what I've been trying to get you to see. I've been trying to get you to wake up because that's what time it is. It's time to wake up. This is what Spirit put on my heart this morning, and I get the privilege, the wonderful privilege of sharing it with you. And you may get the privilege of sharing it with someone else because we're all here right now, right here, to wake up. That's what time it is. Can you hear that? Can you feel it? Will you be able to know it? I think the answer is yes. I leave you with these thoughts. Thank you for listening and allowing me to share yet another day with you, a day in time and space, as the flower opens up and blossoms, and as the panorama unfolds before us of a whole new world. Namaste. Namaste.